Next, I'd like to introduce a man who steals my clothing if I wasn't watching. Our advisory board chairman and editor of the Journal Record, Mr. Ted Streuli.
Oh, something about shoes today, brother. The only person who worries more about me stealing Byron's wardrobe than Byron is my wife. That was good. That was better than the joke I had planned. So, it really has been quite a month or so. We've seen a surprising event on the national stage, and unexpected win, a lot of red, white, and blue banner waving, and there's consolation in knowing that that for the very first time we can remember, it won't be the Chicago Cubs muttering, "Wait till next year." Possibilities certainly can't wait till next year. We need your help now, and we need it today. Our theme today is Prime Time for Possibilities, and it's an apt theme because there's never been a more important time for this organization. We talk a lot about the projects that Possibilities facilitates. You've heard about a couple of them and have read more in your magazine. We tell you about all the ways that Possibilities has improved neighborhoods over the past couple of decades. Working with just one person in a community, Possibilities program has led to neighborhood cleanups that ranged from removing tires to removing drug dealers to building parks. You can read in your magazine this year about teachers who went through Possibilities Innovation Program and learned to bridge the gaps between children from one background to those from other backgrounds so they could help every single child succeed. You can read about PIP graduates who grew from wallflower to church leader, from passive observer to active mentor, helping build a faith-based community that in turn will help many. So, yes, Possibilities helps people improve their communities, their schools, their churches, their neighborhoods, or any other place shared by a group of people. And while those individuals grow and benefit, while their projects help their communities grow and prosper, the real magic is that just one person, just one PIP graduate, learns to bring together a group of people, any group of people, and help them find a more common goal reached by a common path. I've discovered a new favorite artist this year, a young country singer named Casey Musgraves, who, by the way, is on Jimmy Fallon's show tonight. And I think of her as sort of this young female Willie Nelson, who sounds a lot more like Loretta Lynn than Katy Perry. But her songs are really almost parodies of her own act. And she writes most of them herself. And what I love about them is that they reveal this really extraordinary self-awareness and emotional maturity, along with that delightful sense of humor. And her first album that came out a couple years ago has a song on it called Merry-Go-Round, and it reminds us how similar we all are. And while we might smile at some of the lyrics in each of the verses in that song, the two lines that do the heavy lifting are these: same hurt in every heart, same trailer, different park. It seems to me there's never been a time when we need that reminder more than we do now. We have encountered such divisiveness, so much anger, so much disagreement and hurt that we have to come together. We have to regain our sense of community, our knowledge that we are here to take care of one another, because we're really just all the same. Everyone I see is really just a slightly different version of me. Winter is nearly here, and we often celebrate our individuality by comparing ourselves to snowflakes. Right? We marvel that the billions and billions of snowflakes that have fallen, every single one of them is different from all the rest. And we're very good at patting ourselves on the back and thinking, see, I'm different, I'm special, no one's like me. But we always stop right there, right? We stop with talking about how unique each of us is. And we forget what happens next when those snowflakes are falling, right? Those snowflakes land on the ground and become one big, beautiful, sparkling blanket of snow. And then no one can tell one snowflake from another, because no matter how unique each flake is, at the end, they're all the same. And they're all just snow. And aren't we like the snow? Aren't we just individuals who come together to form one community, one nation, and one world? And that's exactly as it should be. Because after all, what good is just one snowflake? Tolerate me now for just a minute, or play a little game with me, and don't worry, I'm not going to make anybody get up on stage or dance or sing. That's strictly Byron's gig. But if you just clear your mind for a moment and remember the first movie you ever saw. Some of us have to think back a little further than others, I know. The very first one, right? Can you see it? Can you remember the theater? I remember going to see a re-release of Disney's version of Cinderella at the Parkside Theater on Terraville Street in San Francisco. It was about 1965. Disney was the cartoon version with the talking animals, and the bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. But Cinderella was my favorite childhood story, and I was so excited to see that film. I'll go out on a limb and guess that nobody else saw Cinderella for their first movie. But while we all saw a different first movie, we all remember seeing one, right? We all have that shared experience. So, okay, go back in your head for another moment, if you would, and remember something else with me. Remember a time when someone did something for you. Right? Something that surprised you, something that was meaningful. You got one? Okay. Remember that? Shift the scene now and think back and remember your very first love. Remember how you met. Remember where you went on your first date. Remember what it felt like to touch the other person's hand. It's a nice memory, right? It's kind of an innocent memory. And play along with me on one more. Think back to a time when someone hurt you, right? When someone really deeply hurt you. And remember that sense of betrayal and what that felt like. All right, enough of that for a minute. Take a look at the person next to you and the others at your table. Take a look around the room. And what do you see, right? Every single one of us has been loved and surprised and happy and deeply, deeply hurt. And apparently everyone's seen at least one movie, too. All great artists draw from the same resource, Maya Angelou said, the human heart, which tells us that we are all more alike than we are unalike. That is the magic of possibilities. Yes, there are these wonderful projects, and neighborhoods improve, and schools improve, and our community improves, but what possibilities really does, what makes all that work, is that it brings people together. It turns those individual snowflakes into something sparkling and magnificent. Right now, this is the time. This is the time in our lives that we need possibilities. We need help coming together to see that everyone around us is just a slightly different version of ourselves. And this is the time that possibilities needs you. This small, marvelous staff depends on your generosity. in your belief that we must come together right now, that we must build communities right now. We can create a better place to live, a better society. Right now is the time we can teach people how to organize, how to set and accomplish their goals, and the benefits from that are seen right now, and a decade from now, and many decades from now. Now is the time for possibilities to make a difference in a few lives, and tomorrow it will be time for those to improve dozens of lives, and soon it will be time for hundreds, then thousands to have benefited from this work and from your generosity. This is a small organization. Every dollar, every single dollar matters to our future. Your gift helps possibilities improve neighborhoods and schools and cities, but more importantly, your gift today helps possibilities bring people together and learn that we can all help one another. This is the time for possibilities. Right now is the time for us to come together. Today is the day that we can look around our tables and know that we are all the same, that there is the same hurt in every heart. And this is the moment that I'm going to ask you to open your heart, to put some of the love you carry into someone else who could use a little extra. Maya Angelou said, "We can't go through life with catcher's mitts on both hands because sometimes we need to throw something back." This is the time to throw something back.